Welcome, welcome, welcome! It is the Wednesday reset. I have waded through the gripefest, that is the forums, to bring you the topics that are bugging people, and oh boy, do we have some good ones. So in this video, I'll give you an overview of the topics whilst I do some really bad gameplay, and I'll link where you can find the full discussion in the description box below. So we have 3 topics here. We've got Nazjatar, we've got Pathfinder. I mean, when is it not about Pathfinder? And we have Blizzard cash grabbing. So, let's start off with Nazjatar. The title of this one is Nazjatar is literal trash. Literal trash. Okay, so the crux of the issue for the OP was that the grinding of world quests was getting tedious, and despite the pretty surroundings, it wasn't actually giving anything to the storyline, apart from allowing Ashara to pop up occasionally shouting "Dance, puppet, dance," whilst threatening to drown us all. And I get that. You know, the world quest of killing 15 murlocs or collecting 5 starfish seemed to be a completely pointless way of keeping you busy doing nothing. We have the Eternal Palace raid, maybe, you know, the talk of that secret mythic phase. We might get a bit more dialogue in there, maybe, if it happens. Maybe we can actually find out what all those starfish were actually used for. There was also the obvious issue with the portal business. Many were commenting that the idea had no logic behind it. It was little too time taken to make it believable, or is it just a combination of the both issues? Those questioning the logic pondered that Ashara would have known about these ley lines already. It's Ashara. Surely she would have sensed your faction buddy tapping into them, and let's not forget, she can see us. She knows when we've been leaving via this illegal portal because she is constantly watching us to make sure that we are still entertaining enough for her. That's the deal. That's what she tells us. We have to be entertaining, otherwise she will kill us. So, yeah, logic. Then we've got those who thought it was too quick. It just didn't take long enough to get this portal up and running. You know that your portal buddy is a force to be reckoned with, but it's the fact that they have a plan B ready, like 2 seconds after Ashara tells a group that you're trapped. Too quick, not logical. They're the issues with that one. There was also the issue of the architecture. Yes, it's pretty with the corals and the barnacles, bioluminescent starfish and seaweed are everywhere in the lower levels. But is it what we were expecting when Ashara told us, "Welcome to Nazjatar," in her smug voice? The Naga just seem to not have gone above and beyond in their actual city. What we see is a shanty town of Naga tents and the ruins of their greatest triumph. How is Ashara proud of that? Why is she so smug about us seeing that? Yes, the raid entrance is pretty impressive, but we're in Nazjatar, and apparently what we see is what we get. Has this lived up to the hype? The forum says no. I mean, do you have any thoughts on this? Is the architecture anything that actually really bothered you? Comments? I want to hear it. So moving on to the next topic, there were 2 titles that I just couldn't choose between. They were both amazing. So we had Sub Cancelled. Will come back when flying does at max level for gold. And then we also had I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of Pathfinder. Whoa boy. I don't think a day goes by when there isn't a million posts about Pathfinder. There was a good point to be made though by an MVP commenter on one of the threads that questioned the logic, behind how our characters are big old plot points, but we are being so limited by Pathfinder. I mean, I do explore this in more detail in the full analysis, and obviously the link is in the description box, but it's the idea that we are gods among men, but Pathfinder treats us like paupers. It's kind of jarring to the player experience. especially when Blizzard have said there's no going back to being the adventurers that we once were. We've killed a literal titan at this point. That we can't go back. We can't retreat back into our adventurer lifestyle. So while the post is more concerned with like the rep and patch gating of flying, the MVP poster did bring up quite an interesting point in that Pathfinder could stay if it was reworked, and it gave us a proper reason as to why someone of our caliber couldn't fly at max level. And I really found that interesting. And I have to say, I kind of agree with them. Pathfinder isn't something that like really annoys me. I'll do it. I just don't understand the logic behind how it's been gated. Like, yeah, that's it. That's my 2 cents out there. I'm sure I'm going to get flamed to hell for that. But yeah, the last post that I kind of picked up on was about Blizzard cash grabbing. So the post was titled, "See You Later Bundle is Deceitful and Insulting." So this was about the cash shop bundles that were created before the winter holidays, which feature items that were having the ability to buy them removed. I'm choosing my words really carefully, as the Blizzard news post that announced this was also really carefully worded, and that's kind of why this issue is an issue. So the main points on this post was that when the news was first read, it sounded like they were gone for good, which created impulse purchases on these items. Along with the doing this before the winter holidays, led to an accusation of cash grabbing. Some of the replies were along the lines of, if you'd have read it properly, you would have seen this wasn't the case, and so on, so on. The issue of doing it before the holidays was discussed. I mean, like, if you go shopping during the winter holidays, every store has a sale to entice purchases. It's just a business thing in retail. It is mainly, however, that the wording that really, really got people annoyed. And I do go into the wording and how it's crucial to what's going on in the in-game shop. But yeah, have a look at the full discussion to get an understanding of like why this wording was so carefully picked and the potential problems that it has generated. Also delve a little bit more into the issue of unique mounts in the in-game store and what you get in-game, which is another point that kept cropping up, not specifically with these bundles, but just as a general whole with the shop. People were just not happy, especially after the Dreadwake scandal. But that is a full topic in its entirety. Okay, anyway, so that is the roundup for the Wednesday reset. It's been relatively quick. I could talk for hours about these, but I shall leave you with these snippets, and you can always check out the full discussion via the description box below. So that's all from me, and I will leave you with a little quote that I had from a GM, and that was, "Goodbye, I shall see you on the battlefield."